Cards Duels now has over 20 different cards, which has a lot of upsides, but that also means that some cards are going to be worse than others. That's why I'm going to be ranking them all the way down from F tier up to S tier. Also, just a quick reminder to join the Cards Duels Discord down in the description. It really does help a ton. In last place, we have Parasol. Oh boy, I did not want to put Parasol back here. It is such a fun card. It makes you fall slower when you're in the air. But that's all it does. It literally gets countered by every single other card. Every single other card is way better than this, PvP wise. Anyway, like, it's good. Any other card is good defensively, mobility wise. Parasol doesn't even, it isn't even good at its job. All it does is it lets you cross gaps like this. But that's just it. It's really garbage, and it's quite sad. Next up, we have Hunter, and it's a big step up from Parasol, but it's still kind of bad. You throw a projectile that lets you teleport to enemies that get hit by it. It's okay, the idea, but the projectile speed is just atrocious. Like, I would use any other card, but that's just Hunter. Next is Detective, and this is the last card in the F tier, but it just highlights nearby enemies, and I mean, like, in such a big open map, it wouldn't be so useful, but this is like my opinion. I have a lot of people who I've played with who just hide when they get low, so a detective isn't always that bad. Like, you can when people are low and they try to run away, you can just highlight them across the map. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good, but not something as good as like depleting 90% of your enemy speed, but that's just me, it's fine. Next up, we have C tier, and Stopwatch is our first card in C tier. You create a stopwatch that lets you revert where you were 6 seconds ago, aka the stopwatch's position. And I really don't like stopwatch, but it's kind of okay being non-biased here. I've seen a lot of people making the mistake of putting the stopwatch in the middle of the map before rushing off, because I just normally wait out the timer until they come back so I can get a free kill on them. But just don't make that mistake, people, please. Swap is up next, and it's a weird one. If the only way you can actually use this card properly is if you swap with one person who's currently fighting somebody else, and you swap in for the kill, and you just kill steal. That's like the only way you can use it, and it's kind of bad, to be honest, but it's okay. Especially if you swap someone, and right before you do swap, you jump off a cliff, and they just get swapped into the void. It's pretty funny. Astronaut's Charm is next, and I don't really like Astronaut's Charm. I think it needs a rework, but it creates a black hole, it sucks in one person, and it deals like a lot of damage, like almost half their HP. But that's it. It's nothing special. Next up, we have Snowball, and Snowball is really hard to hit. Like, I mean really hard. But the nice thing is, the cooldown is really fast. And the gimmick of Snowball, you throw a Snowball, it's very basic, and it does okay damage, but you can use the card 3 times before you wait for a long cooldown. So it's pretty spammy, but it makes up because it makes for the terrible amount of aim you need to actually hit a target. Like, you can see the difference between me standing still and me moving around. It's really hard, like really hard. The skill gap is massive. Shield is the first card in B tier, and Shield on its own, like against punches, it's really bad. Like, okay, maybe not really bad, but it's kind of meh. I mean, you can block some attacks, but also you become really slow. The places where Shield really shines is against, like, card attacks. Like, I'd say the best counter to Piano would be Shield. The best counter to Astronaut's Charm, Shield. Shield is just a really good counter. If you time it correctly and you know what you're doing, if you hear all those audio cues, you can basically block anything. It's really good. No, but it also has a lot of downsides. Quick Escape, a common card managed to do better than a mythic card. That's crazy. That's just like absurd. It's a dash towards your mouse pointer, the cursor, in any direction, up, down, left, right. And it has a very short cooldown, but it's nothing special. That's why it's here in the Met tier. Speed up increases your speed by a whole ton for a few seconds, but I mean, the only reason it's up here is because it's the only card that can give you like a really good speed boost for like a temporary amount of time. For now, I'm just like hinting into the future, but yeah, but it's kind of basic, so that's why it deserves B tier. Sakura is currently the only special rare card, and right now it needs a rework. I am reworking it soon, not in the next update, but currently it just damages nearby enemies. It's very basic. The damage is okay, but trust me when I say this, the rework is gonna make it a whole lot better. You just gotta be a little bit more patient. But yeah. Number 9 and last of the B tier is Piano, and Piano, okay, it's not that bad. It's actually it could be A tier, but it's not the best. The cooldown especially brings it down by a lot, and the hitbox is pretty small, but it's really good. You summon a falling piano, and if it hits anybody, it crushes them and deals like 50 damage, I believe, or 40, a lot, almost half of their HP. Yeah, 40%, which is really good, and it's great because it has infinite range. Speaking of infinite range, a card with maybe not so much range, but definitely long, we have Spirit. Now, you throw out a projectile, a piece of your soul, actually, and anyone that gets hit by it gets pulled towards you, which is really good. The only downside to Spirit, which doesn't make it an S tier card, is it's so incredibly hard to hit. Again, like, really hard to hit. You cannot hit a player if they're moving unless you're like incredibly lucky. The only way you can use it is when there's a crowd, and then you can actually hit somebody. Every time you use the card, you lose 30% of your health, which is just 30 damage. But you gain the 25, I believe, if you do successfully pull someone in. The cooldown is very fast, but the only downside is if you use it too much, you can die. So just be careful. Next up is Invisibility, and if it weren't for the fact you could punch while invisible, it'd be down in C tier, but thankfully you can punch while invisible. Well, obviously when you use the card you become invisible, but you also gain a very big speed boost, and yeah, it's kind of overpowered, so. Next up is Rampage, and at first when you use it, you send yourself into a little tornado, and you gain a 20% speed boost, and that is a lot, but keep in mind that it's over time. For the 3 seconds, you start out with basically no speed before you slowly get faster and faster, and after that, for like a short period, your punch cooldown, the time it takes before you can punch again, it goes from 1 second to 0.3, so that's an 80% extra boost. So that's why I'd consider Rampage really good. Right now the damage is kind of it gets nerfed while you're in the Rampage mode, just so it's not overpowered, but it's a little too low right now. Trust me, I am working on that, but yeah, it's still really good, especially for token farming. Oh my god, if you need a card to get tokens really fast, this is your card. Just activate it, punch as fast as possible, and it's so good. Next up is Error, and how the card works is you can use it once to create the first portal, and once you use it twice, you create the second portal, and you can move back and forth between the two portals. There's no amount of time you have to wait between creating the second portal. You can make the first one and just wait as long as you like before using it again. But the moment you create the second portal, that's when the cooldown starts happening. The portals last for like 30 seconds, or like, I don't know, half the amount of time you have to wait for the card cooldown. So I think 15. On its own, it's not good, but if you use it tactically, similar to like Stopwatch, you create the first portal, hide it somewhere behind the map, and move into battle. You fight until you get low, that's when you create the second portal, and you just get back to safety. That's really good. If you do that, well, that's just my tip. That's what I like to do. But overall, I worked really hard on Error. I'm glad I got this high, but also, I don't think it really needs a nerf. I think it's good on its own. I think it's just better than other cards because of how unique it is. But yeah. Firework is the last card in A tier, and how it works is you send out a firework that if it touches any players, like it can attach to multiple players, they get dragged along with the firework till the end of its lifespan. If there are players at the end of where the firework finally explodes, and they haven't been dragged, or if they have, it doesn't matter, they get knocked back, which is really good. The damage is garbage, but it's really good for when you're low. You can send people backward. I think it's really fun. It's just a really fun card. I especially like bringing enemies close to cliffs and then just send them off. Yeah, but that's the last of A tier. Honorable mention to none. It's a card that's not actually there, and I'm definitely not adding this because I'm already done with editing just to realize there's only 19 cards in the game. So I'd have to retake all of the editing. Oh my god, the amount of stuttering. I don't want to do that, so you know what? I'm just gonna add this to honorable mention. It could be lazy, but you know what? No, it's okay. Anyway, S tier. In number 2, the toppity top, in S tier, we have Doctor's Touch, and it is a big surprise to me, but I should have seen it coming. Doctor's Touch is a very, very basic card. Once you use it, you just regain 60% of your HP. But I didn't account for how long an actual fight lasts for. The cooldown is around 25 seconds, but let's say you're fighting with your fists, just punching. It would probably take maybe not long to kill somebody, but everyone's constantly moving around, so it'll take longer. And by the time you're both low HP, Doctor's Touch is already charged up, and you can just regain all of your HP. It is very overpowered and unfair. You're just constantly healing. That's why it's up here. And I've gotten a lot of feedback. But the reason this is not number 1 is because I have a card that deserves number 1, and it's only been tested by me and another player. But yeah, only they have this card as well. It is still a small game. Do play it. It's Cards Duels. The link is in the description. But let's get on with the final card in S tier, number 1 in the entire game. Number 1 best card in the game, my opinion, by the way, is EP. I mean, you reduce your enemy's speed by 90%, and I do mean 90% of their HP, like completely, just while they're being slowed. And their screen is blurred and darkened at the same time. Not to a point where they can't see where they're going or enemies, but to a point where they can't aim projectiles correctly. It's just so good, especially the cooldown. It's just amazing. I need to do like a lot with this card in order to balance it, which is weird coming from the developer. This is a tier list from the developer. Like, I questioned myself on whether I should do this, but the only reason I did is because it's kind of like a showcase. But anyway, that's the tier list. Editor me here. Don't forget to claim the free limited firework card. It's to celebrate the release of Cards and Duels. But yeah, have a nice day. Bye.